effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
For many men, divorce brings a bewildering sense of loss. You feel adrift, isolated, like you're the only person in the world. But the good news is you're not alone. Cordell & Cordell is here to help. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has been there to guide men through all aspects of divorce. And we'll be there for you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy. LCordell.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Partly sunny skies and 63 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Kirchner. Longtime Michigan U.S. Senator Carl Levin has died at the age of 87. Michigan News Network's Stephanie Davis has this report.
Congresswoman Debbie Dingell.
The Levins and the Dingells go back for a very long time. Carl Levin and Sandy Levin campaigned for John Dingell's father. It goes back that long.
Dingell says Levin had an industries and areas, including working with labor unions and job training programs, and of course his advocacy for the U.S. military on the Senate Armed Services Committee.
Carl Levin believed in public service. He believed in doing good for others. And Michigan lost another giant.
Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan calls Levin a true statesman and says he will be remembered as a champion for civil rights, for his protection of the U.S. auto industry, and for securing critical funding to begin the redevelopment of our riverfront area.
The Michigan Farmers Market Association is celebrating National Farmers Market Week from August 1st through the 7th. Here's WSGW's Ann Williams.
Many of Michigan's nearly 250 farmers markets will be hosting special events, activities, and more to celebrate farmers. Express appreciation for volunteers and shoppers. In 2020 and continuing into the 2021 market season, Michigan markets have adapted to keeping customers safe during the pandemic. Nearly 250 Michigan farmers markets serve their communities by increasing food access, often in areas where grocery options are scarce, and by supporting small businesses. In 2020 alone, 152 markets accepted SNAP Bridge cards, including 25 new sites, generating more than $1 million annually in farm revenue and creating access to nutritious fruits and vegetables for Michigan's most vulnerable families. The Michigan Farmers Market Association has a Find a Market tool on its website where shoppers can search for information about local markets. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 9:07.
This is RC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. This summer, support over 30 small businesses inside and our local farmers outside under our pavilion. Our favorites like Falafel Hut, Purple Sage Beach Store, Divine Taste of Chicago, and Honey's Tasty Potatoes. We welcome new businesses like House of Serene, Chris Made It, and coming soon, Yum Yum Cereal Bar. Family fun events like Family Fun Day, Riverfront Car Show, and Cosplay Anyone. Make sure to follow us on Facebook for all our family events. Summer is sizzling inside the SVRC Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace. We thank you of our small businesses. Remember to
shop local, eat local, and support small business. And we'll see you at the market.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. Michigan drivers whose license or registration expires between April and the week's end will have 120 additional days to renew it without being assessed late fees under new laws. The bills were signed yesterday by Governor Whitmer, who says they give motorists flexibility during the pandemic. The 13-month grace period ended March 31st, leading to a transactions backlog. The laws will help residents whose license, registration, or state ID card lapses from April 1st through this Saturday. They also prohibit late renewal fees unless the Secretary of State resumes letting people conduct same-day service at a branch without an appointment. Vaccination is the best protection against COVID-19, but many people are still hesitant for one reason: false information circulating online and through word of mouth. Here's more from Michigan News Network's health reporter, Dr. Deanna Lights.
Dr. Dennis Cunningham is the Director of Infection Control and Prevention for Henry Ford Health System. He's also a myth buster regarding the COVID-19 vaccine.
The most common myth is that the vaccine was created too quickly and it's only safe once it gets full FDA approval. The technology is not new. mRNA technology has been used to treat certain cancers for the past 10 years.
Another myth, the vaccine will impact fertility.
Absolutely no scientific evidence the vaccines impact fertility in men or women. People have been able to get pregnant after being vaccinated, and women who were vaccinated while pregnant have delivered healthy, happy babies.
If you have questions regarding the vaccine, go talk to your doctor or check out a hospital or health department website.
The Michigan Supreme Court is restricting the use of handcuffs and other restraints on juveniles when they appear in court. They can't be used unless a judge determines that a restraint would prevent harm or there's a belief a child might dash from the courtroom. Justice Megan Kavanaugh noted 31 other states have procedures governing the use of restraints in court. The Supreme Court has two former trial judges, Justices David Viviano and Brian Zara, who disagree with the new rule and say it interferes with a judge's ability to manage a courtroom. WSGW News Time, 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny into the middle 70s, winds north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear skies and light winds. Lows drop to 54. Saturday, lots more sunshine, though there is a chance for afternoon showers and storms. Highs top out near 79. Saturday night, shower and storm chances continue mainly before midnight. Lows fall back to 60. And then Sunday, chance for a few showers redeveloping by afternoon. And highs reach 76. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 65.
Now, the only show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW as we end the week and pretty much ending the month. Only one more day tomorrow before July is history. Later on, we'll have open phones during the 10 o'clock hour. Westside Decorating will be the subject of focus this morning. But for this hour, there was an advantage of being at home. That is that I didn't have to look at certain guests. But technology has caught up with me. And we can see each other now on our video stream. And we say good morning to the one and only Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Hope you are too. Let me do something here, though. Well, I don't have to do that. That's right. I don't have to have that up because you're in the studio, so we can actually hear your audio. So it's summer match time again, but I think before we get to that, every now and then we do this, and we talked a little bit about it this morning, but I think a history of the mission movement in this region is in order.
Yeah, so the mission, we were joking on the morning show about the mission having started in 1905 and how you were there, to do the first report when we opened up. But not quite, right?
No, because you would have known.
But it was really, people. There were 4 local churches in this area back in the early 1900s that was concerned about homelessness, concerned about people who were struggling to make ends meet. And so they had heard about a work that was happening over on the west side of the state, over in Grand Rapids, and they were so intrigued about it that they asked that director, Mel Trotter, to come over to Saginaw and to look about trying to set up a similar work. And so after about 4 months of planning and working to get resources together, then they were able to open up the City Rescue Mission of Saginaw, and it was right there in the downtown, right by the river. And the first place that we opened up just happened to be between two saloons, so we always knew that we were going to have customers. And back then, we were there'd be evening chapel services, there'd be place for accommodations for overnight staying, just like what we do now. But then they'd also have a gospel wagon that would go out into the community every night, and people could jump on the wagon and come to the mission, get a meal, and then we take them back. And so our roots go way back to helping the community in whatever way possible. And we've just continued to do that same type of service now for 116 years.
But the clients have changed, haven't they?
Definitely the face of homelessness has changed. Even when I started back, there's been a shift even from 29 years ago from when I started. And really, it's become such a diverse group of individuals that have so many different reasons why they experience homelessness. I mean, back in the 70s, veteran homelessness used to be huge, and it used to be about a third of the population in shelters across the country. But now it's basically your neighbor. I mean, you have people who maybe for medical reasons, there's been a series of medical issues that have taken up all the resources. They were already just living paycheck to paycheck. You have those that are struggling with mental health issues. And then, just poverty in itself. We have so many families in our region that are just trying to survive. And so maybe they lose a job. Maybe there's a medication they need, and that tears things up, or else a car repair. It doesn't take much for things to start to unravel, and then they find themselves not being able to make rent, and they find themselves with no place to stay. And so then they're knocking on our doors. So we're helping to provide that care. We're the safety net in the community. We have been for 116 years. Another really interesting feature is that the first mission started in New York City. So your stomping grounds.
I know it well.
Yes. And so the Bowery mission, and, it really originated from women who were highly concerned. They saw people who were struggling. They're obviously immigrants and substance abuse, drinking, all types of things. There was just huge poverty in New York City back in the late 1800s. And it was really started by women. A lot of the mission work was started by women way back then.
I want to see if I can make a comparison here, if it makes any sense. In the COVID-19 crisis, those with compromised immune systems were more vulnerable. In homelessness, do most of the people, and it's a big term, I know, but do most of the people who come forward have some kind of compromised immune system, be it mental health, drug addiction, what have you? Is there an underlying reason other than fact that they're just out in the street?
Well, I think, first of all, access to resources at times, they're not always consistent. And, some of the methods that we take for granted, whether it's getting prescriptions through the mail on a 90-day supply, they're not always as stable with their resident where they can stay. Or if we want to just go to the pharmacy or jump in a car to go see a doctor, we have that easily accessible. And we also have financial means more steady. So for those that are homeless or those that are struggling in poverty or near poverty, they're going to be making decisions. And they know if I go do a doctor's office visit, this might cost me $50, $100, $200. I don't have it. Well, can I ignore the issue? Well, then I'm going to do so. Another one, is maybe we do annual physical checkups and go see the doctor. Once again, they're going to be thinking, well, the doctor told me I needed to watch my diet. Well, they struggle enough as it is being able to get food on the table, and then sometimes to do the extra expense for healthy living. Sometimes they'll avoid that. So, and then I think also advocacy at times. A lot of times we take for granted the resources that we have. If we have a question about something, maybe we'll go look on WebMD, or we have a friend or a neighbor down the street that had a similar issue, and so we asked them about it, or a family member. And so those that are homeless at times, they don't have those same types of resources. And so that's where it isn't because there isn't funds available for them to be able to get state medical, or it isn't because there isn't enough medical facilities. A lot of times it's just access and that just ongoing advocacy and connecting people to it. If you can avoid it, or the fear of having to have that extra expense.
Well, I had to chuckle when you said WebMD. I've learned not to go to WebMD. I had my muscle problem in 2005. I went there and found out I was dead. So I kind of avoid that if I can.
That is the trouble with self-diagnosing.
That's, you got it. Talking to Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. We'll get back to our conversation and learn about the summer match. Let me take a moment to talk to you about Thalen Honda, because as you probably know, there is a semiconductor microchip shortage, and that has affected the auto manufacturers and dealers to the point where there is very thin inventory. But Thalen Honda has a limited supply of new vehicles ready for delivery with 0% financing on select 2021 models. Terms and conditions do apply. In addition, the 2021 Honda CR-V Passport and Odyssey were named Best Car for the Money by U.S. News and World Report. And 6 2021 Honda models received the IIHS Top Safety Rating. Now, Thalen Honda has new and used vehicles in stock. They're ready for sale, and they do have new vehicles arriving every week. So stop in and look over their inventory. They're located on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, or you can go online to thinkthalen.com. But whatever you do, test drive the vehicle of your choice and then sit down with a Thalen Honda representative to see how easy it is to make that vehicle yours. Thalen family in their third generation of ownership, serving your automotive needs for 44 years. And we will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show after these notes.
All roads lead to the 66th annual Munger Potato Festival, going on now through Sunday. Enjoy carnival rides, food tent, games, famous potato brats, free potatoes, and great music. Today in the entertainment tent, it's Rebel Line, followed by the Sinclairs, plus the front-wheel drive Figure 8 and the rear-wheel drive Demo Derby. Saturday is Kids Day with the 5K Spud Run sponsored by the Frankenmuth Credit Union, the Power Wheel Figure 8, rear-wheel drive Figure 8, front-wheel drive Team Derby, and the rear-wheel drive Turn Back the Time class Figure 8. And music in the entertainment tent featuring Vina Schnitzel, Grind, and Steve Armstrong and the 25-cent beer band. New this year, a cornhole tournament Saturday at 2. On Sunday, it's the traditional chicken barbecue. The parade begins at 1. Entertainment tent, it's Bay City Polka Panic, followed by the Todd Michael Band. Parking is free and even free admittance to the grounds. It's the granddaddy of them all, the Munger Potato Festival, sponsored by the Munger Volunteer Firemen. Details at mungerpotatofest.com.
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body.
I'm living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor. For women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects: low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report. Americans were making a little more and spending more in June, even after the initial impact of stimulus. Personal incomes rose 0.1% in June. Consumer spending was up 1%, though the savings Procter & Gamble has already announced plans to raise prices in September. For now, there's no relief in sight. The maker of Pampers, Tide detergent, Charmin, Gillette, and other brands says it's facing higher costs for raw materials and transportation as inflation picks up and the global health crisis continues. LinkedIn says the majority of its 16,000 employees will be allowed to work remotely full-time. The company tells Reuters that workers who move to less expensive cities from San Francisco and New York will receive a... That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
You spent a long time tucked into your home, tucked into your auto-playing streaming box. Not anymore. Now you can untuck a road trip, untuck a Saturday tailgate, then untuck a Sunday tailgate too. Untuck whatever you damn well please. And if you want to look good while doing it, untuck with a shirt made for this moment. Designed to be worn untucked. Find your perfect fit at untuckit.com or one of 80 plus Untuckit stores nationwide. Use code SUNNY for 20% off your first purchase.
Can you name the 3 habits of healthy hygiene? We shower, we brush our teeth, and we... Wait a minute. What third habit? Think about it. The pandemics reminded us that the nose is your body's filter against a constant invasion of airborne germs. Your nose traps allergens, bacteria, and filter. The more it's clogged up, the less it works. Now it's easy to clean your nose with Navage. My name's Martin Hoke, and I did not invent nasal irrigation. It's been around thousands of years, but I did invent Navage to make nasal irrigation an easy habit for everyone. Navage uses powered suction to flush out germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you very sick. People love Navage. It has 4.7 stars with over 70,000 online reviews. And over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. Go to Navage.com or find CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and select Walmarts. Make cleaning your nose your third habit. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW, talking to Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Michigan. So, Dan, it's summer match time. I don't know, how many years has this been going on now? I lost track.
Well, I think it's about 10 years. And I remember, the first time that we did this, we were outdoors at the senior picnic.
Yep.
And what a great environment to be able to be on the radio.
If I remember right, you had a goal, and we were something like, I don't know, $3,000, $3,500 away from that goal.
Yep.
And I think it was a farmer that called in.
Local farmer was out in the fields working, and he heard the station while he was working, and he called promptly and helped us go over the top. Right at the very, very end. It was very cool.
Well, we can make this easy if he's listening now. How short are we? Let's talk about the summer match and why it came about and how it works.
So traditionally, the summer months, people in Michigan, they get wrapped into vacations. I mean, that's what we do in Michigan. And you look at a day like today, I can understand exactly why people want to be outdoors.
Yeah.
So we definitely see a drop in donations that occur during the summer months. But then, people don't think about homelessness as much, because you think usually about cold weather. But for us, homelessness is occurring all through the year. Every month of the year. Right now, we had 160 people that stayed with us last night, needing care. And so sometimes we'll see a large spike in some of the winter, but that's usually some of our single population. Believe it or not, over the years, we've seen August be one of our busiest months, especially for women and children. And to tell you the truth, I don't know the exact reason why, but you can count on it. Every August, our numbers start to spike, and it's in our women, in our family ministry. So at the time when the donations were going the lowest and the time when the occupancy was going the highest, it just creates a gap for us and a crisis. And so that's what prompted the idea. So we've talked with some very local donors, very loyal donors, and they are willing to put up $70,000 worth of match to help encourage others to think about homelessness here in these first 2 weeks of August. So any donation that's made will get matched dollar for dollar up to $70,000.
So how does someone donate?
So you can go online. The easiest way is to go online, r3monline.org, and you'll see a link, summer match link right there. And hit that link, and within a couple clicks and a couple entries, you can be able to make a donation very easy through that. Another method is that you could call into the mission when during normal business hours, call 752-6051. And then you can make your donation. You can have it go towards either Good Samaritan Rescue Mission in Bay City or City Rescue Mission in Saginaw, or you can just put it in general and we'll split it between both operations. So phone calling that, or you can send in a check by mail and just write in the memo section summer match, and then you can be able to know that you'll get it matched dollar for dollar.
All right. This is a topic which will impact you. Probably throws fear in your heart to some degree. For the past year or more, because of COVID-19, there's been a moratorium on evictions.
Correct. Yeah.
If Congress doesn't act, it's going away in a couple of days. What's that going to do?
So there has been some financial resources. Let's put it this way. First of all, when COVID hit, we did see some decline in our numbers. In February of 2020, we had between the two sites 310 people that needed shelter in February of 2020. And then as COVID hit, we saw the numbers declining. And I think part of it was because there was severe fear and being out in the public and being in a place of shelter. And we're just as safe as you are as going down to the grocery store. I mean, we're putting in all kinds of protocols. But at that point, there was also some other, the moratorium on evictions that came into place. There's also been some eviction diversion money that has also been brought out for local communities. So even though evictions may start back up again, there is still some money to help kind of prop things so that there isn't a huge surge. That money will run out at some point in 2022. And when that happens, then I believe we're going to see a return back to the same level of numbers as we saw prior to COVID starting. So there are numerous people, numerous families that are right now being propped up by some of these financial means, but we do have a future crisis that's going to be coming.
Has COVID had much of an impact on the missions?
Well, it definitely has changed our day-to-day operations. It definitely, there's a lot more cleaning. We're making sure that we're doing temperature checks twice a day. All the staff are doing temperature checks, doing questionnaires anytime somebody new is coming into the building to make sure that you haven't experienced any of the symptoms of COVID. And then, it's changing some of our base operations. We're trying to spread things out. Where, when I told you about how we helped 310 people, when we did that, we would put some mattresses on the floor because we don't have beds set up for 300. And so we'd put mattresses on the floor, and there wasn't 6 feet of space between all those mattresses. So we've lowered some of our capacity between the two sites. And so we're looking more at about 260 to 270 is what we would safely serve if everything was maxed out. And so there's some changes like that are happening until we can get on the other side of COVID.
Just out of curiosity, Dan, if somebody showed up at the door in need of services, but they were COVID positive, what would happen?
So we're going to put them into isolation.
You do have the ability to do that.
Yeah, we've been we've had 3 major bouts of COVID coming through. You think about 160 people at the 2 locations, plus the staff that we have. I mean, that's a lot of bodies that are moving all through the community. And so we've had 3 really distinct times in which COVID has spiked. June of 2020, and then November and December of 2020, and then just this past May, we had another 3rd spike. So, we're pretty comfortable with dealing with it. We know quickly how to respond. We've worked with the health departments in both counties. They've been tremendous partners. We're a testing site, so then that way, as soon as we have a suspicion, we can immediately test somebody and be able to know the results within 15 minutes as to whether or not they're positive and start to have proactive actions to get them quarantined or isolated depending on the situation.
So we, I guess, the bottom line is you don't escape COVID like anyone else. It impacts you every day.
It does. And so just to, we've also, as I was mentioning, working with the health departments, we've had multiple times where the vaccine has been available for our guests to be able to receive it for all those that want it. And we've done that in multiple waves and also trying to get access. So as people make choices and make their own decisions, then we're trying to be there to help facilitate that. We're trying to make it as safe as possible. And I believe that we're definitely as safe, if not safer, than what you see in many situations. I know we're safer than going to the grocery store. So it's something that we take it very seriously because it's part of what we say that we do. We care for our guests, and so we do that by helping to provide every level of care. It's the meals, a safe environment, a clean environment, helping to get them the materials that they need to be able to help get back on their feet.
We're talking to Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. Their summer match campaign underway. We'll tell you more about it when we return here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW.
Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio, like where this ad plays. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's Zip Radio. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Yes, radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13 valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
There's no place like Panera, where a bite of the toasty, saucy Chipotle chicken avocado melt tastes like oof. Cool and refreshing strawberry poppy seed salad al fresco is so sweet. And a cheesy Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza in your favorite booth feels just right. So treat yourself, because there's no place like Panera. Order on the app today. Restrictions apply. Visit PaneraBread.com.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Dan Streeter from Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan.
Summer Match campaign is on. We'll tell you again how to donate coming up here in a few minutes. But let's talk about the newest addition to the Rescue Ministries, the youth shelter. How is it doing?
Doing extremely well. The 29 years that I've been working in the ministry, and we worked really hard to go through licensing, to raise the money to be able to open up the youth shelter. And we were extremely passionate about the need in the community, and to be able to help kids that are aged 12 to 17 that have no place to go and struggling in their home life. And so this just been, as soon as we had the first two young men in there and I heard their stories, it was just so affirming and so rewarding. It was probably one of the most rewarding things that I've done in my career to be a part of. And just to be able to see the influence that we can have with these young people at their time of crisis. So we've helped impact about 17 kids so far, and we're averaging about 3 kids that are staying there per night. Numbers aren't quite as high as what they would normally be because of COVID. This is something as I've been investigating with other youth shelters across the state. And a lot of it is because the kids aren't in school, and so they're not engaging with professionals, teachers, counselors, homeless liaisons, and so they're not getting the referrals or the counseling to go get help and to go to a shelter. Instead, they're kind of couch surfing or just surviving, maybe finding an abandoned house or things like that to stay in. So it's definitely been very rewarding, but we're hoping to see a little bit of normalcy with kids getting back to school, so then that way there can be more engagement and their needs will surface more.
I guess, in my thought process, I could probably come up with scenarios that would put a 17-year-old on the street. I'm having a great deal of difficulty coming up with a scenario that puts a 12 or 13-year-old on the street. Is there a common thread among them?
Well, so we definitely have seen of those that are staying with us, the average age has been about 15 and a half. So definitely the 15, 16, and 17-year-olds are the more prevalent. A lot of times because a 12-year-old still just really doesn't know or fully grasp abuse that's happening, doesn't really fully realize all the things that are happening, and so they continue to stay in that situation. Whereas a 15, 16, 17-year-old is starting to gain some independence, and so they're going to push the limits a little bit, maybe with that parent that's being abusive, or they'll have enough sense they talk with another peer or a counselor, and they'll work to leave that situation.
Abuse comes in many forms.
Definitely.
There's obviously physical abuse, but there's also abandonment abuse is what I would call it.
Definitely.
I don't care. These youngsters almost always come out of some kind of an abusive relationship.
There's definitely something going on. A simple one is where we just have easy family reconciliation to do that maybe the teen is in an adoptive home or a foster care home, and tensions have arisen because of a series of episodes that have happened. That's fairly easy to be able to resolve with some family counseling and engagement. But then there's longer term solutions, like maybe one of the parents is mentally ill. And so that's creating a lot more stress and issues that's happening in the family, and then trying to help them to get the resources that they need. And mom or dad needs to understand that they do have a problem and that they're willing to deal with it. So it's really a myriad, but then also, we've, with having the youth shelter, have come to really realize how many difficulties there are in foster care and in adoptions. And just because a kid is adopted doesn't always mean that it's now a good home situation. So some of these surface when they're 16 and 17.
So do the courts get involved in this? I mean, if you have a 15-year-old, they're not emancipated. I mean, there's still somebody has to have responsibility for them.
Correct. And so we're also assessing sometimes when CPS needs to be getting involved. And, there's also, the tensions rise. And so then maybe the adoption parent is deciding that they want to absolve that relationship. And so now here's a kid, 17-year-old, and who he thought was his parent and what all he's known his entire life is now unraveling because that parent has lost patience with the kid. So there's some really heartbreaking situations, and we know that we need to dig in even more in helping to resolve homelessness and the issues that are happening in families. And so it definitely has caught our attention, and it's so much needed.
Did the youth shelter require a differently trained staff?
We definitely have about 50 hours of training that goes into placing any staff or volunteer into the youth shelter, plus a very extensive background check. So it does take quite a bit of work to get somebody to that point to be able to be a staff or a volunteer in the youth shelter.
Just out of curiosity, Dan, because you can't go anywhere without seeing help wanting signs. How's the labor market for you?
So we're doing okay. We have found that maybe it takes just a little bit longer before somebody gets hired in. But we definitely believe that we have the team that's in place and people who are rolling up their sleeves and just doing amazing work. But also a part of our talent pool are those who have previously experienced homelessness. And so they have been delivered from some of those things. In fact, we've just hired a young lady. I say young lady. Compared to me, she's young, and which is probably quite a few people. Not you, but anybody else.
I knew I was coming.
Yes, but she had experienced homelessness when she was 17 years old, and she's now about early 40s. And she's coming back to work with us. And so she is so excited because it's a passion for her to be able to help people. And this is going to be a great way to do it through cooking.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go back to the topic of the summer match and money, because it's an important aspect of what the Rescue Ministries do. And we will do that right after these notes here on WSGW.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Your home's safe. From smoke and carbon monoxide alarms to fire extinguishers and more, Kidde home safety products keep your family protected from emergencies. Save 11% on all Kidde home safety products at Menards. Good through July 31st. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money. While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 6751.
Ad paid for by CompleteCar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not fair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. For your free quote, call 1-800-519-0449. That's 1-800-519-0449. SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-519-0449. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Michigan. The summer match campaign officially underway when?
Starts officially. Well, you could call right now. You can make a donation, and we'll have it count towards the match campaign. We were officially saying August 1st for 2 weeks, so the 1st through the 14th. And then another interesting piece, so people aren't confused. There's also a mailing that's going out to mailboxes that also describes the summer match. And so it is the exact same campaign. We love to come here to WSGW with the first breaking news about what's happening. And then it follows up as well in the mailbox. So it's not two different campaigns. It's the exact same campaign, just a reinforcement of what you're hearing today.
But it is important on your check to put down summer match.
It does. You can either, if you get that mailing in your mailbox, then you can respond with that response device or put summer match on your check. Yes.
So how much does it take to feed and house someone in need?
$30 a day to be able to help provide that basic care. And that's helping to get the clothing that they need, the hygiene products, the staff engaging with them, the safe environment, utilities, the food, the 3 meals a day. And even as I mentioned about the staff, there's a dedicated case manager that's working with them and helping to make sure that they have their ID, that they have a copy of their Social Security card, and helping them filling out the paperwork. So if they qualify for a housing assistance voucher, then we're helping to facilitate that. And we also have on staff a housing placement specialist. So then that way, when they get that point of needing to go and do an apartment search, we're helping to drive them to go see some local places, meet with a landlord, helping to facilitate that. And then we also launched a new program called Impact Designs this year. So February 1st, that officially opened. And the best way I can describe it is if you remember on ABC, they used to have the show Home Makeover.
Yeah.
And you know how you'd have that big surprise, move the bus, all that kind of stuff. Well, we do the exact same thing, but we do it for our families who have come through the shelter and they have completed case management, they've completed life skills. Then they also get the Impact Design move-in experience. So we have staff and volunteers who will go to the apartment, get the measurements. They will design what the layout's going to be. They'll take the furniture that's been donated from our warehouse, load it all up into the Impact Design truck, go to the apartment, clean the apartment, stock it, move all the furniture in, and then we do the big reveal for our guests. Helping home happen. It's really one of the neat things that we've done. And if you were to go onto our Facebook page, you can see the pictures of some of the makeovers that have happened. Absolutely amazing. And the testimonials. We launched this program because traditionally there's about a 50% success rate that somebody's going to stay housed once they come through the shelter and move into a permanent housing opportunity. But when you add these wraparound services, where you can make sure they have a bed for each family member, that they have a microwave, that they have dishes. When you add all this, then it changes their whole perspective and it makes becoming housed, it becomes their home. And so now there's a 95% success rate when you can put those wraparound services along with it. So we're really excited. We've done about 10 families so far this year.
I don't know that I've ever asked this before, but since you've been there and it's been 20 some odd years, services have greatly expanded, which I assume means staffing has expanded. How many people does it take to run the Rescue Ministries?
So we have about full-time equivalent, right around 60 full-time staff between both locations. And so, that's maintenance, kitchen staff, food service staff, and and then also myriad, over 30,000 volunteer hours every year. So that's been one of the things that COVID has also definitely been a deterrent, is being able to have volunteers come in. For safety, we had shut down a lot of volunteer experiences, but now we're trying to revive and get some of that going again, helping volunteers come in and help with serving a meal, preparing a meal, working in some of those things. And people aren't feeling quite safe yet, and aren't returning quite back to normal when it comes to volunteerism.
You talk about meals. How many a year?
Over 140,000 meals between the two sites. So 3 meals a day, 365 days out of the year. We're that safety net. It doesn't matter what the weather's like, doesn't matter what's going on. That's their home during the time that they're staying with us.
All right, so let's go back to the summer match. You come in with 70,000 in your pocket, but it's not spendable until you can match it.
You're right. We've got 70,000 that's promised by local donors, loyal friends of the ministry, that are hoping that you will take full advantage of their generosity, and they want to match every dollar that you give, dollar for dollar, up to 70,000. So please consider over the next 2 weeks. Part of the reason why we have it go 2 weeks, because we know some people might be on vacation this week right now, and hopefully you'll see it when you get back from vacation. And it just is so necessary during these summer months. There's definitely people, 160 people last night needed our services. And so you can help sustain those services through the month of August.
We talk, about $70,000, and it's a lot of money to match. But in the scheme of things, your budget is huge.
So between the two locations, the youth shelter impact designs, the shelter operations, and all the classes, and two 40,000 square foot facilities, it's about a $4 million operation annually.
Is it typical, Dan? I mean, if we go across the country and look at other mission operations, we're going to find about the same thing.
It all depends on how that community supports. And so this community has been very prevalent. Some missions, all they can do is feed. They can't do the engagement. They can't help work to help change lives and get the things that people need to help turn things around. And so one thing that I would stress as well, we always want to be transparent. And if you go to our website, you would see that we have a Charity Navigator 4-star rating. And what that really shows is that we have integrity, that we're using the funds as they were intended, that there's wise fiscal practices in place. And so you can hit that link and you can see all the details about how we spend every dollar within the ministry. Plus, we also encourage that you come by and see firsthand. You can see what the dining room's like. We wouldn't do a full building tour because we're trying to limit some of the crossover exposure of COVID. But we'll let you see some of the things in general where there's not a lot of crossover in the population.
And, you talk about the generosity of your donors. How much did you raise at the golf outing this year?
So, that's been a fun event where a lot of friends go out and help to make other friends and ask them to sponsor them in our golf outing. And so there was 16 teams of golfers that went out and raised $85,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
So some of them have been golfing for us for 20 years. And the only reason people would give to the ministry is because of that golfer. It's a really cool relationship.
All right. So how do people donate to the summer match again? Let's end with that.
Go to r3monline.org and you can hit the link Summer Match right there. You can call in to the ministry, 989-752-6051, or you can write a check and you can put Summer Match on it and then just mail it in to the ministry. Right. And if you have any doubt, do a Google search of what our address is.
Dan, appreciate your time as always.
Thank you so much.
Campaign. We'll talk to you again. Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan on the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty in Saginaw. Sellers are getting top dollar for their homes with the average of 1 day on the market. Linda Shepard sells faster. Buyers are cash pre-approved. She doesn't waste any time. She's easy to work with, no pressure tactics, several years of experience. Linda is a full-time agent. She lives here, she sells here, and Pinnacle is not a franchise. So the money stays here in your community. Buyers, the interest rates are still low. Linda Shepherd watches the market closely, so clients get a showing fast and have a fighting chance. She'll fight for every offer every time. Call Linda today at 989-295-7713, 295-7713. Back to close out after this.
Come on, come in, let the fun begin.
At MichiganLottery.com, the one place you'll find exclusive games like Queen of Diamonds and Michigan Cash Draw, plus Powerball and Mega Millions that can reach $1 billion. Cash out online or at your favorite store. And all proceeds support Michigan schools and businesses. Get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, plus free games. Sign up with promo code RADIO. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Michigan, 'cause we all win.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the River Rock Cafe's Festival. You are going to get a $30 gift certificate for only $15. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, all three ways, River Rock Cafe has you covered. It's an all-day favorite restaurant, and they have 20 craft beers on tap. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
This really is a different virus than we've seen before.
CBS's Dr. David Agus confirms to CBS affiliate WSB Radio details of a new report on just how dangerous the Delta COVID variant is. WSB's Sabrina Cupit.
The data from an internal document was confirmed by the CDC this morning. It says the Delta variant is different from previous strains in that it is highly contagious, likely more severe, and that breakthrough infections may be as transmissible as unvaccinated cases. However, the Atlanta-based agency stressed that despite the greatly increased transmissibility of the Delta variant, vaccinations are essential for preventing severe disease and death. In fact, the document shows the risk of severe disease or death is reduced tenfold or greater among, and the risk of infection is reduced threefold. Sabrina Cupit for CBS News Atlanta.
They're trying to prevent COVID outbreaks at a 4-day music festival underway in Chicago. WBBM TV's Charlie DeMar.
To attend this year's Lollapalooza, fans need more than just a hot ticket.
I need a vaccination card in your hands.
Festival attendees must also show proof of vaccination or negative COVID test within the last 3 days.
U.S. women's soccer players live to play another day at the Summer Olympics. CBS's Steve Futterman is in Tokyo.
The Americans survive a tough quarterfinal match with the Netherlands. The U.S. wins in penalty kicks to go on to the semifinals.
Top-seeded tennis star Novak Djokovic lost in the semis today. Tornadoes that swept through eastern Pennsylvania left behind a trail of destruction and injured at least 5 people. A car dealership is in ruins. KYW TV's Jan Carabio.
Some of the cars were picked up and thrown around, one landing right on top of the other in the backside of this parking lot. Signs just ripped away.
Millions of families could be forced out of their homes after a nationwide ban on evictions expires tomorrow. The Biden administration says it cannot extend that ban because of a Supreme Court ruling. Evidence of a State Department having a tough time keeping up with demand for passports.
Wait times for new passports and renewals are now up to 18 weeks. A frustrated Marvella Carson lives in Los Angeles.
You can't get through. You can't go on their website. You can't get through the phone.
Carson is running out of time.
I was going to Jamaica for my cousin's wedding. I may not be going to the wedding that I'm supposed to be at.
Even expedited passport appointments are taking up to 3 months. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
The Dow is down 6 points. This is CBS News.
With Indeed Instant Match, just sponsor a post and immediately receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hey there, it's CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with an inside track on a company that could save your family over $800 a year on a basic service everyone needs, H2O Wireless. If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, H2O Wireless gives you the exact same coverage as one of those, but at half the price. That's right. H2O Wireless uses the same network, same towers. You can even keep your phone and number because switching is as easy as swapping a SIM card. Right now, get and 15 gigs of data for just $36 a month. And if you want a new phone, H2O Wireless has huge savings on the latest iPhones and Androids. Here's what you need to do. Pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say keyword Get H2O. When you do, you'll save 50% off your first month. Again, dial pound 250 and say keyword Get H2O, and your family could start saving over $800 a year today.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. Don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar. What could be sweeter than that?
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
All right, with cloudy skies and 65 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A 60-year-old man was arrested in Saginaw on charges of possessing child pornography. Alan Bailey of Saginaw is accused of possessing child sexually abusive materials on a computer. The investigation into Bailey began when it was learned he was sharing the material over the internet. Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force seized digital evidence from his home after serving a search warrant. Bailey is also charged with child sexually abusive activity and using a computer to commit a crime. The Michigan Public Service Commission is urging propane customers to look into locking in supplies now for propane to heat their homes this winter. WSGW's Ann Williams has this report.
The Michigan Public Service Commission says shopping now helps ensure you'll have the propane needed as the weather gets colder and demand increases. The MPSC urges Michigan propane users to shop around for the best deals, making sure to research options, ask questions, terms in writing. They suggest propane users consider providers who offer budget plans, prepay, and fixed price plans. Knowing the size of your propane tank and your average propane use can help avoid not buying enough or buying too much. Don't forget possible fees, including installation, service, pickup or disconnect, lease or equipment rental, and minimum usage requirements. The MPSC also says you should decide whether it's more economical to rent or lease a tank from a propane provider. Propane prices are not regulated in Michigan, but the MPSC monitors the propane market to identify irregularities that could lead to price or supply disruptions for the approximately 320,000 use propane to heat their homes. Each year, the MPSC publishes statewide average residential prices during the heating season, which starts October 1st. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Even with so many of us working from home and your car sitting in the driveway, your engine's oil and other fluids are breaking down over time. Let All A's keep your vehicle running smoothly and your family safe. Change of fluid service with us today. Remember, All A's only fixes what we say we're going to fix. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair a business you can depend on?
Just moved to Midland, was dreading finding a new auto shop. Search over, came highly recommended, and I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
Then of All A's customers, rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Former Senator Carl Levin, a powerful voice for the military during his career as Michigan's longest-serving U.S. senator, has died. Levin was 87. His family says that he died on Thursday. A Washington insider, Levin took a civil but straightforward approach to governance and Republicans and fellow Democrats. He was a longtime member of the Senate Armed Services Committee and co-chaired the Senate Auto Caucus, which promoted policies benefiting the domestic car industry. Levin was first elected to the U.S. Senate in 1978. He won re-election 5 times, but chose not to seek a 7th term in 2014. Michigan's first case of a drug-resistant and highly contagious fungal infection in at least the last 5 years has been identified in a 76-year-old Oakland County man. Medical director for the Oakland County Health Division, Dr. Russell Faust, says the potential yeast infection was discovered in a drainage from the man's ear on May, now being successfully treated.
But Candida auris, C. auris, is known to be a strain that has a higher level of resistance than most. So our usual go-to, our standard antifungals that people use for other yeast infections tend not to work very well.
Faust says those at highest risk for death from the infection are people who have a tracheotomy, gastrostomy, long-term IVs, or catheters, along with the elderly who have been on multiple antibiotics or antifungals, especially those at long-term care facilities. When you see news happening, call the W room at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly sunny skies here for today with a high into the mid-70s. Winds out of the north of 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Then for tonight, mostly clear skies, a low near 54. By Saturday, sunshine, high of 79 degrees. And Sunday, a slight chance for some rain showers here with cloudy skies, a high of 74. Monday, mostly sunny, high around 77 degrees. Then by Tuesday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, a high around 80. 1 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 66.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning. Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show on this Friday morning, and it's going to be Open Line Friday from now till 11 o'clock. So whatever's on your mind, Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll-free 866-790-WSGW. We'll have one final summer cash word for you during the hour. And we'll also hear from Terry Henney, previewing the Munger Potato Festival, where we will be broadcasting tomorrow. And Ernie Krieger will join us at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. But again, open phones for this hour. I want to spend just a moment remembering the late Senator Carl Levin, who passed away yesterday. In my career, I had probably, I want to say 3 or 4 interactions with the senator. All of them what I would consider to be very friendly. And he would always answer questions if you asked him. And he wouldn't give you a lot of political speak. The thing that I was impressed about with Carl Levin was he was the kind of individual you could disagree with and then go out to lunch. And that's just the way he was. and his colleagues on both sides of the aisle had a great deal of respect for him. A tremendous supporter of the military. There were a lot of things I personally wouldn't have agreed with him on, and I know a lot of the audience probably wouldn't either. But very much like the two senators we have today in Peters and Stabenow, while they're both staunch Democrats without question, when it comes to the state of Michigan, and this was Carl Levin too, politics gets put aside and they do what's right for the state of Michigan constantly in all kinds of issues, from water quality of the Great Lakes to agriculture to industry and the auto industry. They have always stood for what's right for Michigan. Carl Levin was of that, his cut of cloth was of that same ilk. Michigan came first, and the military. So I just thought it'd be proper to pay homage to this man who served us for a lot of years, 5 terms. All right. Russ is in Bay City, so we're going to start on the phones with Russ this morning. Hello, Russ.
Good morning, Art. I had COVID. I had it bad enough to put me in the hospital for a little over a month. And COVID doesn't scare me. What does scare me, though, is I've learned something that back in, 7th or 8th grade, we studied world history, and we studied German history between World War I and World War II. The one main question that kept popping up was, how could so many Germans fall for this? And I know the answer now, and it scares the living hell out of me. They followed the science. They listened to the scientists and the professors and the school teachers and the media personalities.
Okay, so you just eliminated everybody. Who do you listen to, Russ?
But I'm saying...
Who do you listen to?
What they did.
Who do you listen to? You just eliminated everybody.
I listen to everybody. I pay attention to what everybody's saying, and then I decide for myself.
Well, that's smart. I'll grant you that. That's the way it should be done.
And I don't trust any of them. You better prove you want me to trust you. You better prove yourself, because otherwise, I'm so skeptical and cynical now. It's crazy, and I hate it. I hate it. But this is what happened.
Well, that's not quite what happened. That's not quite what happened. What happened was you had Russ. Just a minute now. You have to allow for something else. I mean, I hate the man and I hate everything he stood for. But Hitler had a way of convincing people to follow him. He had a leadership quality about him, even though I think it was a negative leadership quality. He could get people to follow him, and he didn't need the scientists or anybody else. He was a dynamic personality.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't ignore the fact that he did have all of them.
Yeah, sure, everybody does, but it takes the personality to put it forth.
Well, I hope I'm wrong on this, but in my analysis and what I've been seeing, and how they all march in lockstep, no matter what the DNC says. Boy, here come the scientists. Yup.
Yeah, so you want to make it political, and I don't.
It is political.
Well, only that's the way you see it.
Become political.
That's the way you see it, and I don't see it that way. But that's fine. I mean, we all
agree to disagree.
Well, that's true too. And we all have to come to our own conclusions. Who do you the old show? Who do you trust? There you go. You have to
prove it.
Well, how do you prove it if you're discounting science? You say prove it. What are they going to prove to you?
Show me the evidence.
Well, there I agree with that.
It's the data, but you can't ever produce them.
Yeah, and you and I are on the same page there. And that was a fault. That's a fault of Governor Whitmer. For a year, she was asked to show us the data and the science and wouldn't put any of it forward. And I agree with you there. Absolutely.
But it wasn't just Whitmer.
Well, I know that, but I'm just using that as an example.
What's that?
I just used that as an example. That's all.
Sure.
All right.
All right. You have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. And John is in Saginaw. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Arthur. I have a suggestion for you. I'm not sure if you've done the focus show on this previously, but or maybe some people who didn't hear it if you did do it. There's a lady contractor, Lois Kay, who has got a road resurfacing business. They're currently doing Center Avenue here in Saginaw, Center Street. And I think there are very few women that are in the contracting business, and I think she probably has a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't know if you've ever done.
I've never. No, I haven't.
Show with her.
I have not.
Ask
We'll have
them, and
to-
if they're amenable to it,
Yeah.
I think it'd be a very interesting show.
We'll look into it.
And it's part of Saginaw.
Well, and it's unique because how many women have a contracting business? There are some, but there's not a lot.
That's right. Well, it was just a suggestion.
No,
for
good
you.
one.
It'd give you something
Good one.
that the public might be interested in.
Hey, appreciate the call.
Okay.
As
you
always,
bet.
John. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye-bye now. And that opens up the lines for you. Give us a call, whatever's on your mind today. And we got a number of other things to bring up too. But first, for the final time in this particular contest, on my show anyway, it's time to play the WSGW Summer Cash Contest. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is fog, F-O-G. Do you walk around in a fog? It's a nationwide contest, one winner chosen each day. Must be 21 or older to play. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Summer Cash Contest on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW. We will take a break, and at the end of the break, we'll hear from Terry Henney up at the Munger Potato Festival. That is ahead.
Hi, it's Mike from West Side Decorating Center. Not sure where to start on your next home decorating project? Let the professionals at West Side help you. We specialize in paint, flooring, and window treatments, and have 3 interior designers that are ready to assist with your next project. We are a 3rd-generation family-owned business celebrating 55 years serving the Great Lakes Bay region. We can't wait to help you, so give us a call at 793-6182 or visit our showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or time, call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. That's 800-990-6271.
O'Reilly Auto Parts specializes in keeping your car on the road. Not sure how much life is left in your battery? Our professional parts people will test it for free. If it does need to be replaced, we'll help you find just the right one to fit your car. Our Superstar batteries are built to handle even the toughest conditions. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So the dream was to build your very own law practice. Be your own boss, call all the shots. But have things like billing and all the other management stuff turned your dream into a nightmare? Take charge of your practice with Lexicon. We're the intersection of practice management software and legal support services for your firm. You'll get more billable and livable hours back. Lexicon marks the spot for all your practice management needs. Visit lexiconservices.com/intersection to get the whole story or schedule a demo.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower after an update on the economy. Americans continued to spend in June, even after the initial impact of stimulus payments. Consumer spending rose 1%. Personal incomes went up just 0.1%, and saving declined. But Amazon is dragging down the session on Wall Street, though its business continued to improve. Investors are unhappy with its forecast of 16% growth this year, slower than in recent quarters as people shopped for more things online. Chevron made a profit in the spring quarter after losing money a year ago. It's being helped by people returning to the roads. Caterpillar is seeing strong demand for its heavy machinery. Caterpillar's sales in construction and mining rose 40% this spring over a year ago. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
You spent a long time tucked into your home, tucked into your auto-playing streaming box. Not anymore. Now you can untuck a road trip, untuck a Saturday tailgate, then untuck a Sunday tailgate too. Well, please. And if you want to look good while doing it, untuck with a shirt made for this moment. Untuck it. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Find your perfect fit at untuckit.com or one of 80 plus Untuckit stores nationwide. Use code SUNNY for 20% off your first purchase.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Good morning. We are broadcasting this morning from the Munger Potato Festival grounds, where this is day number 2 of the 66th annual Munger Potato Festival. And what a turnout last night. The entertainment tent was packed. There were people all over the place at the rear-wheel drive figure eights, the demo derbies, and all that activity is going to Carnival starting about 2 o'clock this afternoon. All-day ride passes available. Entertainment tent tonight featuring Rebel Line and the Sinclairs. And then, of course, tomorrow is Kids Day. Big events going on with the kids. Carnival rides kick off at 12 noon. The Frankenmuth Credit Union is sponsoring the 5K Spud Run that starts morning, and Kids Day activities do start at 9:30. And once again, the arena will be smashing with all sorts of mashing going on. The demo derbies, figure eights, everything else going on. And coming up this year for the first time, a cornhole tournament. That'll be tomorrow at 2 o'clock. The Frankenmuth Credit Union invites you to come on out to the 66th annual Munger Potato Festival.
All right, Terry, thank you. And we'll hear from you again later this hour. And by the way, I will be at the Munger Potato Festival tomorrow from 8 in the morning till 11. And at 9 o'clock, Ernie Krieger will join me on the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Mark is in Bay City. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing all right. Hope you are.
Yes. Hey, so I travel Michigan a lot, and I see a lot of these blinky boards that say entry to Canada, essential workers only. And it seems to work. I don't see coming across the border back and forth. We have a flood of immigrants coming across the border, and they're non-vaccinated. And right now there's a campaign between vaccinated and non-vaccinated people out there. But yet there's a blind eye that's going on. Yeah. What if we got those road construction signs that are portable and we just type in there, border closed, essential workers only allowed. But we put them all along the border there, so when it lights up at night, when they're walking, they can see it coming. But then you have your border agents, the National Guard, arresting them.
Yeah,
what about that idea?
Here is the thing that you point out so magnificently. I've always said you have to be able to control the border before you do anything else. You have to shut the border down. And the border here between our friendly neighbor Canada and us, we don't have those issues. The border between Mexico and the United States has become a funnel for Mexico and South America, and we do nothing. And something has to be done. Whether your idea of lighted signs would stop the flow or not, and whether we could put enough troops down there to make the arrests is another story. But it just points out the difference in how you have a controlled border in one place and an uncontrolled border in another. And, the reality is, if you don't have secure borders, you don't have a country.
Right. Well, the other thing that I see on the nightly news is it's no longer, I mean, yeah, there's children, yes, there's women, but a lot of bad people are coming across the border in these sleepy little towns. Where do you land on getting just a pistol if just for protection? Are we getting to that level, or am I drawing a line in the sand?
Well, you're drawing a line in the sand, but I should point out that most of the states that have the big problems already have open gun laws. You don't have to. You don't have to change anything in Texas. You don't have to change anything in Arizona. They already have, open gun laws all over the place. But, using them is another story.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole. So,
it's one thing to have a gun. It's another thing to properly use the gun.
I agree. But when they're shipping people all across the United States, unbeknownst to mayors and stuff, they're not all upholding the law.
Nope, that's true.
And at some point, if it continues, crime is going to go up in these cities. And I'm just wondering, at some point in time, is still going to be banned because crime's just going to be the Wild West?
Well, it's that's a whole other issue, really. But it's something that we have to deal with as a nation, and Congress and presidents, except for maybe Trump, have not wanted to deal with it, and it's unfortunate. And it's the other thing unfortunate about it. It's a political windfall because these people can vote. If we can get them citizenship, they can vote, and we all know how they're going to vote. Why do you think they're allowing it at the southern border, but Cubans can't come over, and make landfall and stay here? Funny, one side votes one way, the other side votes the other.
Under the voting, I just think that's a bad calculation. How are you going to get all these people that are here illegally to the polls? You got voter,
Well, you offer them a path to citizenship, but you can't do that before you close the border, because
how do you keep the communications going to these individuals to let them know that?
Well, the same way you do for everything else. First of all, once you've got them, once you know they're here, you can establish communications. That's easy to do, but it's a moot point if you don't do something to control the flow across your border. Period.
Right. I agree. And again, we're back to that that's going on, and it's just you got to stop it at the border before you can really have, I think, a serious discussion between vaccinated and non-vaccinated. When you just got them coming across the border.
Well, there's two issues, though. There's two issues because, that's true. A lot of non-vaccinated are crossing the border, but there's also the issue of Americans who aren't getting vaccinated. And one doesn't have anything to do with the other. You need to control both. Obviously, you need to have a positive result with both. But they're two separate issues. So
right, and then you throw in the pot asymptomatic people that don't really want to get the shot either.
No,
it's not.
Most people think they're invincible. Bottom line is they're not. Everybody dies. Nobody's made it through this without dying. So, all right.
Alrighty, sir.
Good enough, Mark. Thanks. Bye now.
Yep. Bye.
And that opens the lines for you. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free 866-790 WSGW. But it brings up the question of mask mandates and mandatory vaccines. Both are here. Now, in the state of Michigan right now, the governor has told us she has no plans to reinstitute mask mandates, that it's up to individual businesses to decide. And I, for once, agree with her. That's the way it should be. But there is push from Washington for another mask mandate. Now, some mandates have remained in place. You don't go into an airport or get on an airplane without wearing the mask and leaving it on the whole flight. It's required. Part of it. One of the things, and you don't get on Amtrak and travel by bus and things of that nature because mask mandates are still in place and have been. But because of the Delta variant encroaching upon many areas of the country, mostly southern states and mostly states where vaccine rates are very low, it's caused fear in Washington. And, what happens? Well, they come out with their mandates. It appears that federal workers are going to have to be vaccinated or tested 1 to 2 times a week. There's already been opposition. The very large U.S. Postal Workers Union has expressed opposition to it. Who knows where it's going to go? It has been determined, though, that employers, for example, have the right to mandate that you be vaccinated, that you get a vaccination. A number of places are going back to masks. Disney resorts, Las Vegas, Reno, and Lake Tahoe. You're going to be required to wear masks in public places, whether you're vaccinated or not, beginning today. The Nevada Gaming Council Board, which regulates casinos, noted the directive applies to all employees, patrons, and guests. So, let's hope we don't go back to the days of lockdowns and masks and everything, but I don't know what to say. It's just when we thought we were in the clear and that COVID was going to wane and injections were going well, comes another variant. So how long it's going to be with us, got me. I have no idea. We'll take a break, come back. We'll get to Bill and Reese when we return here on the Art Lewis Show for this Friday morning.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. This summer, support over 30 small businesses inside and our local farmers outside under our pavilion. Favorites like Falafel Hut, Purple Sage Beach Store, Divine Taste of Chicago, and Honey's Tasty Potatoes. We welcome new businesses like House of Serene, Chris Made It, and coming soon, Yum Yum Cereal Bar. Family fun events like Family Fun Day, Riverfront Car Show, and Cosplay Anyone? Make sure to follow us on Facebook for all our family events. Summer is sizzling inside the SVRC Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to
shop local, eat local, and support small business. And we'll see you at
All roads lead to the 66th annual Munger Potato Festival, going on now through Sunday. Enjoy carnival rides, food tent, games, famous potato bratwurst, and of course, plenty of free potatoes and great music. Today in the entertainment tent, it's Rebel Line, followed by the Sinclairs, plus the front-wheel drive figure 8 and the rear-wheel drive demo derby. Saturday is Kids Day with the 5K Spud Run sponsored by the Frankenmuth Credit Union, the Power Wheel Figure 8, rear-wheel drive Figure 8, front-wheel drive Team Derby, and the rear-wheel drive Turn Back the Time class Figure 8. And music in the entertainment tent featuring Vina Schnitzel, Grind, and Steve Armstrong and the 25-cent beer band. New this year, a cornhole tournament Saturday at 2. On Sunday, it's the traditional chicken barbecue. In the afternoon in the entertainment tent, it's Bay City Polka Panic, followed by the Todd Michael Band. Parking is free and even free admittance to the grounds. It's the granddaddy of them all, the Munger Potato Festival, sponsored by the Munger Volunteer Firemen. Details at mungerpotatofest.com.
Restrictions may apply. Plans and costs for coverage may vary. Call Ox Car Care for details.
Honey, I'm worried about the car. It's not under warranty anymore, and we just can't afford a major repair. Sarah recommended we get an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
What's an extended service plan?
An extended service plan from Ox covers us in case major repairs happen. Like if our transmission drops, we pay nothing for the repairs.
Oh, so if our engine, cylinders, or suspension, Ox gets it fixed and we pay nothing for the repairs.
That's right. We pay nothing for the repairs.
Okay, give me the number. I'm calling Ox right now.
If you own a car, truck, or SUV, you won't have to pay a penny to have it repaired. Just call 800-316-6129 right now. See if your car qualifies. Get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Call 800-316-6129 today and get free roadside assistance, free towing, free car rental, and free oil changes. Just call 800-316-6129. That's 800-316-6129.
On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and Radio WSGW.
All right, back with you on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. And Bill is in Reese. Bill, good morning.
Well, good morning, Art. Just to add a little something to the commentary today. Now, I'm 74 years old, and I was around in the time when we had the polio vaccine and all of this.
Yep.
And back with the smallpox vaccination. Now, call this what they may, we were given a choice. You will take this or you will not be allowed in public schools or any of the other. Now, I would assume that this might be called a mandate. And I just wondered, throw this into the mix. What changed from back and now? I mean, you did it. I don't get it, but they were very forthcoming and told us the truth about all of this.
And I think you still have to be vaccinated to get into schools for those very things you talked about, but I don't know that COVID-19 is included in that. Districts could require it.
As an analogy.
Yeah, I know, but it's a good one, though, because school districts could require it, and maybe they do. I don't know. But that is a mandate about a specific issue, school, but it is a mandate. If you want to participate, you have to have the vaccine. That's a mandate.
Well, when I was a kid, too, when we have Channel 25 in Saginaw, we'd sit there and watch a test pattern for 4 hours a day. It was really great.
Yeah.
And then when the TV come on, then some of the folks decided that we needed a government mandate so that your kids didn't look at things that they shouldn't. Well, they came to our house, and I'll never forget my old man. He sat there and looked. He says, I've got the control of this. And what's that? He said, it's called the on-off switch. And, there's no common sense anymore. There is really no. Now, if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's your choice. But the consequences could be dire.
Yeah, absolutely. We all make that choice,
I think that they need the American people the truth about everything. Like it or not, here's the truth. Here's what we've got. Not somebody that's going to tell you half-truth or has lied to you. But
then you have to take politics out of it, because that's all politics is anymore. And that's unfortunate.
Absolutely.
So that's unfortunate.
But if the people were told the truth about this stuff, how it happened, what had happened, all of this foolishness, then I
but
think
here's
they'd be more receptive.
Here's the problem, Bill. Here is the problem. They have lied to us so many times, or misguided us so many times, that the truth is now so clouded that nobody knows what it is. They could tell you the truth and you might not want to believe it because of everything else they've told you. So how do you get the truth out and be known that it is the truth? I don't know the answer to that, because they've clouded the issue.
You're making too much sense here. This is just.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're the only one on public radio or TV that makes any sense anymore. It's just wrong in so many ways.
It's just it's the nature of the beast, and they brought it about themselves, and now who do you trust? One side doesn't trust anything that Fauci says. The other side absolutely believes every word Fauci said. One side doesn't trust the CDC. The other side believes every word the CDC says. And yet the words keep changing, and the recommendations keep changing. And I understand that the variants come along and they may cause you to reevaluate, let's put it that way. But we are so confused now as a public, we don't know who to believe anymore.
Well, the one thing I did enjoy when Trump was in office, by this time every morning I could have my wife going nuts because I'd brag about what he did and it just sort of fight.
That's funny because
it's no fun anymore.
I'm married to
It's
this.
no fun anymore.
I'm married to someone who's probably just like your wife then. So anyway.
Oh, I could get her swearing, but you have a good day. Art.
You too, Bill. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now. Mike is in Shields. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. Hey, do you know, can the administration be held accountable for this border crisis?
No.
That happened. They can't be sued or anything, right?
No, because let's face it, administration after administration after administration has failed to deal with the border.
Well, I don't know about
And they,
that. We were pretty good.
No, well, that's the exception. But even then they were still crossing the border. Understand that.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't shut it off. You know, he tried, but he didn't shut it off. But the fact is, we need a cohesive border policy. We don't have one.
Well, we had kind of a one, but we don't now. I mean, now it's just the opposite. I mean, it's just, come on, everybody, come on. Doesn't matter. And then inflicting them into the heartland. I mean, sending them up on airplanes and trains and whatever, buses. They're dumping them on people that we don't have any say in anything. It's supposed to be the government of the people, but it sure doesn't seem like that anymore.
Well, it is. It's who you elect. It's the government of the people. You have representatives. If you don't like what your representatives are doing, you fire them if you get enough people agree with you.
But I think it goes above the representatives. I don't know that the representatives get much say in anything anymore. It just seems like it's, I don't want to say dictatorship, but it's
no.
there's making all the decisions, and it's whatever for them, and but it's frustrating because we as individuals we have to live with it. I mean the gas prices. Oh my God! Go to the grocery store. All this. And it just happened because of the stroke of a pen.
Yeah.
All
right.
Darn thing about it. Okay. Well,
have a good one.
Have a good weekend, my friend.
Take care. Bye-bye now. All right. That was Mike and Shields. We're going to take a break and also hear from Terry Henney when we return. And then we'll get to John in Hemlock after this.
Come on, come in, let the fun begin. At MichiganLottery.com, the one place you'll find exclusive games like Queen of Diamonds and Michigan Cash Draw. Mega Millions that can reach $1 billion. Cash out online or at your favorite store. And all proceeds support Michigan schools and businesses. Get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, plus free games. Sign up with promo. Payments is always the best bet. So play on Michigan, 'cause we all win.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AA Wealth Management, LLC.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the other seed products that are the best fit for your field, plus unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound up nutrients in granular fertilizer and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. I made sure that they would be everything you'd ever want in a sheet set. I started with the world's finest cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region where the Sahara Desert, the Nile River, and the Mediterranean Sea all meet. The long staple cotton makes ultra soft and durable. They come with extra wide pillowcases and extra deep pockets to fit over any mattress. Not only that, they come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free. I personally guarantee that they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special, or call 800-635-1825 and use promo code SKY.
It's that time of the year. After a layoff last year, Munger is busy. Roads lead to the 66th annual Munger Potato from the festival grounds today, and it is going to be a busy day. Very busy, as we mentioned before. Last night, near record turnout. Tonight, they're going to have, once again, plenty of entertainment here in the tent where we are broadcasting from. Rebel Line at 7 o'clock. The Sinclairs begin at 9:30. And, of course, tons and tons of free potatoes and famous potato brats. Kids can ride the carnival rides starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon. All-day ride passes are available. And tomorrow day is going to be held here at the entertainment tent at the Munger Potato Festival. Frankenmuth Credit Union sponsoring our broadcast today. Will also be sponsoring the 5K Spud Run. That'll be tomorrow morning at 9. And for the first time ever, a cornhole tournament will be held at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at the 66th Annual Munger Potato Festival, going through Sunday.
All right. Thank you, Terry. And we'll hear more from Terry next hour at the Munger Potato Festival, including his farm show. John is in Hemlock. Up next. John, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
We're well, thank you.
The first thing I need to do is, I believe it's Charlie Rood who plays hockey, men's league.
Yeah, he has a little hockey rink in his backyard, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay. Well, my son's not here right now, and I kind of forgot for sure the name, but he played with Charlie last year. He says, you ever get on Art's show again, tell Charlie I said hello. Him and Charlie were fellow defensemen. John's the one that kind of cracked his rib, you know.
Oh, okay.
So he says, tell Charlie I said, hey, how you doing?
You just did.
Okay. Now, was listening about that why people don't trust the CDC, and this is my story. Both John and I, my son, had the COVID in late January, early February of. He lost the sense of taste and smell pretty bad. He got it back. I did. I caught it after him from him. I kind of did, but not as bad. So the CDC tells me I have to get a vaccine. Correct?
I'm not sure that they've said that directly about people who have had COVID. I thought that there was, how did they put it? It wasn't a mandate. You know, it was, I don't remember now. I think what they said was you could get a vaccine. It would not hurt. But there's a lot of discussion about the fact that you should have a lot of antibodies that protect you anyway.
Well, here's what they said. I'll tell you because I watched it really closely. They put out the statements that those antibodies, they've been testing people, and those antibodies are gone, and therefore COVID, because you no longer have antibodies, which is the false statement. That's not how your immune system works. Yeah, the antibodies are gone. They come in, they do what they do when you catch COVID or when you come down with it or any other virus or cold or whatever you get. But then those antibodies program, I could get this backwards, but your B cells, which in turn program your T cells in your bone marrow. And then the antibodies go away. So if you get checked for antibodies, I'm sure if they checked me now, they probably show I don't have them anymore. At which they would say to me, well, you could get it because you don't have the antibodies.
Yeah, but how long does the antibody effect last on the programming? Is it forever? I don't know.
It's not an antibody. It's called a B memory cell.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But is it permanent?
Yes, it is. It goes in your bone marrow. And it's permanent.
Well, here's my advice to everyone, and this is where I stand on it. I'm not here to tell anyone to get vaccinated. That's up to each individual. But as I've said many, many, many times, when I want medical advice, I don't go to a talk show host. I don't go to a politician. I don't go to the government. I go to my doctor. If my doctor tells me, that I should get a vaccine, I'll get the vaccine. If my doctor says, I don't think you should have it, I won't get it.
Well, which is what we did. And I discussed this with him because I've known him a long time. And I discussed this with him, and he said, well, don't repeat this from me, but what the CDC is saying is totally and completely wrong. And so when the original was why I don't trust the CDC. I don't understand why they would come out and say, regardless of the fact whether, it would be like a backup for you. They claim that you can, in fact, get it bad, et cetera, even if you've had it before. And
well, there have been cases of people who have had it who have gotten it again. But as a percentage of the population, it's infinitesimal.
That's right. But that's not what they tell you. What they tell you is you have to get this vaccine even if you've already had it.
Yeah. All right.
Read it on the website, Art.
Yep.
So,
gotcha.
All right. Thank you, Art.
Thanks,
And
John.
Charlie, you have a great day.
Have
Bye.
a good one. Bye-bye now. All right. Lines are open for a few more minutes. A little time for another caller or two if we can. A couple of quotes I want to read. This has nothing to do with COVID. This has to do with government. First of all, and there is question as to whether this guy actually wrote this or not. There's a guy named Alexander Fraser Tytler. I have read this for years on the air. There is a question as to whether he actually wrote it or not. Doesn't matter. It makes great sense, particularly where we are today with this administration. A democracy cannot exist as a permanent form of government. It can only exist until the voters discover that they can vote themselves largesse from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidates, promising them the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that a democracy always collapses over loose fiscal policy, always followed by a dictatorship. The average age of the world's greatest civilizations has been 200 years. These nations have progressed through this sequence: from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from abundance to selfishness, from selfishness to apathy, from apathy to dependence, from dependence back into bondage. Does it sound familiar? Let's talk to Lee in Saginaw. Be our last caller. Lee, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Your last caller mentioned something. I was actually reading this last night. I think I told you before, I had COVID, and it was a week. To me, it was a week cold. I'm not getting the vaccine because I have natural immunity. My wife had it. It hit her hard. She also has a depressed immune system. She got the vaccine. It makes sense for her to do that. It just, my doctor said I didn't need it. Her doctor said for her, it would be a very good,
right,
even though she had the virus.
Yeah, that's perfectly legitimate. You followed the advice of your doctor.
But I wanted to bring up what this last gentleman was talking about is that there's a 2008 study of survivors from the Spanish flu in 1918. 90 years later, they still had immunity from the flu. From
that flu, yeah.
Yep. Like the gentleman was talking about, your B cells program your T cells. And right now, there's still some of those people still floating around. If the Spanish flu would come back today, they would still be immune, and we would be the ones that would be in trouble.
And the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines, that's what they do. They program your T cells, messenger RNAs.
Yes, now here's the thing, though. That's not a sterile vaccine, like polio or the smallpox vaccine. It doesn't give you lifetime immunity.
I'm gonna have to interrupt because I'm out of time. I just looked at the clock here. We will talk more about this, though. Thanks for calling, Lee. Call back again, and we'll be back to close out after these notes.
Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emo wearing sunglasses.
Emo, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Can you name the 3 habits of healthy hygiene? We shower, we brush our teeth, and we... Wait a minute. What third habit? Think about it. The pandemics reminded us that the nose is your body's filter against a constant invasion of airborne germs. Your nose traps allergens, bacteria, and viruses, but like any filter, the more it's clogged up, the less it works. Now it's easy to clean your nose with Navage. My name's Martin Hoke, and I did not invent nasal irrigation. It's been around thousands of years, but I did invent Navage to make nasal irrigation easy for everyone. To flush out germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you very sick. People love Navage. It has 4.7 stars with over 70,000 online reviews. And over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and select Walmarts. Make cleaning your nose your third habit. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hi, Tom Bodette for Motel 6, leaving the light on for the homebody, who now would rather be an anywhere but homebody after spending 12 months stuck at home with nobody but themselves. Well, Motel 6 has plenty of clean, comfortable rooms, all at a great low rate. So when you decide to visit somebody, anybody, anywhere else but your home, Motel 6 will be waiting. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
All right, heading up to the news here on WSGW. And we'll have CBS News and also the local report here on WSGW. We'll hear from Terry Henney again. He's at the Munger Potato Festival. And as a reminder, I will be at the Munger Potato Festival tomorrow from 8 to 11. And Ernie Krieger will be my guest at 9 o'clock from the festival grounds. Looking forward to that as we do. It's another semblance of normality going back to the Munger Potato Festival. Had big crowds, a lot of people coming out because they want to get out and do things. All right. As I mentioned, news coming up at CBS News. They'll have the national and the international news for you. The local report here on WSGW to bring you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. On Focus, West Side Decorating. We'll talk to Mike Stoddard right after the news. That's next.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. New findings on the Delta variant could deepen concerns about what it means for the pandemic's next few months. CBS's Dr. David Agus says the CDC analysis indicates the variant is aggressive.
In this report, they call the Delta variant as infectious as chickenpox. What we're seeing is that it's more infectious than most of the viruses that we've seen, including the 1918 influenza.
The report says those who get infected with Delta are more likely to get fully vaccinated people can spread it as easily as those who haven't gotten shots. Now to Chicago, CBS's Charlie DeMar is covering the music fest Lollapalooza, where health precautions are being taken.
Vaccination card in your hand. Festival attendees must show proof of vaccination or negative COVID test within the last 3 days.
If they didn't have those restrictions in there, I'd be a lot less likely to go.
It makes me feel safer. The festival draws around 100,000 people each day, tightly packed crowds with few masks in sight.
Some tense moments at the Olympics for the U.S. women's soccer team against the Dutch.
This was a knockout match. If the U.S. had lost, the U.S. soccer team would be going home right now. The U.S. wins on penalty kicks. It was 2-2 after regulation. It remained that way after extra time, and then they went to penalty kicks, and the winning kick was from Megan Rapinoe. The U.S. women began to celebrate, and they now move on to the semifinal match. The U.S. women still have hope for a gold medal. Steve Futterman, CBS News, at the Summer Olympics in Tokyo.
Well, the arrival today in the U.S. for more than 200 people from Afghanistan, translators and others who helped America American troops during the war and their families. U.S. Ambassador Ross Wilson says there will be more in the weeks ahead.
This White House initiative aims to ensure the safe relocation of Afghans in the United States over the course of the past 2 decades.
They're checking on storm damage this morning in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, after rare tornadoes.
Mitch Berlinski lives along the Delaware River in Washington Crossing, Pennsylvania.
We saw like a funnel cloud starting over the river, then it went across the river and headed to Ewing.
Not far up the river, Jesse Samaji says he weathered the storm in his basement, came out and found a tree had fallen on a passing motorist, but she escaped unharmed.
That was super lucky. If she was a little farther, it would have been a lot worse.
Jim Melwart for CBS News, New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 126 points. The NASDAQ. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
For almost 20 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Line-X have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty. That's required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Line-X is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
The WSGW
WSW online poll regarding the Speaker of the House, because former President Trump's name has been mentioned as a possibility of maybe becoming a speaker because of a little known nuance of the Constitution. The House of Representatives could name whomever they want as a person to serve as speaker. They still have to be voted in. It's never happened, but concerned Democrats have introduced legislation to only allow a currently elected House member to be the speaker. They say it's to stop President Trump, but just overall, the legislation is there, which is what we want to base the poll question on. Our poll question for you is, who should be eligible to be Speaker of the House? Should it only be an elected member of the House, or should it be anyone that the House chooses to nominate? You go to WSW.com, you can scroll down the homepage, you can find the poll box and make your vote that way.
You can be Speaker. I nominate you because at least I know baseball's opening day would be considered a federal holiday.
Yeah, that might be.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
With cloudy skies and 68 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Carl Levin, Michigan's long has died at the age of 87. The Levin Center at Wayne State University put out a statement last night saying, with great sadness and heavy hearts, the center and family announced the passing of Senator Carl Levin. Here's longtime friend, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell.
Carl gave he kept giving and giving and giving and participating. He was helping with Flint, and he's engaged in the Levin Center at Wayne State University. He was involved in so many things where he was still giving back to the community until the very end.
Levin was elected to the U.S. Senate in ousting Republican Robert Griffin. He won re-election 5 times, but chose not to seek a 7th term in 2014. Levin wrote in his recently published memoir, he was diagnosed with lung cancer nearly 4 years ago. The State Police Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force recently arrested a Saginaw man after an investigation determined he had child pornography in his possession. The investigation into 60-year-old Alan Bailey began when it was learned Bailey was allegedly sharing child sexually abusive. Police served a search warrant on his home, seizing digital evidence in the process. Bailey is charged with 1 count of child sexually abusive activity, 2 counts of using a computer to commit a crime, and 1 count of aggravated possession of child sexually abusive material. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. Coming up next, the Michigan Supreme Court has cleared the way for a vote next week on major changes to Detroit's constitution that critics claim could ruin the city's delicate finances. In a 4-3 ruling, the state Supreme Court said the ballot question isn't doomed, despite Governor Gretchen Whitmer's refusal to give it her blessing because state law is silent on the impact of a governor's objection. The court overturned decisions by lower courts. Proposal P is already on absentee ballots that were distributed ahead of next Tuesday's election. If approved, it would create new city departments covering disability justice, veterans affairs, and economic justice. It would also create a task force to consider paying reparations to Black citizens. It's a decision on using handcuffs on juveniles while they're in court. Here's Michigan News Network's Jim Matthews.
The Michigan Supreme Court restricting the use of restraints and handcuffs on minors when they have to appear in court. The court says they cannot be used unless a judge determines that a restraint would prevent harm, or there's a belief that a child might try to escape and make a run for it. Justice Megan Kavanaugh notes that 31 other states already have procedures about the use of restraints in court. But 2 of the justices, both former trial judges, disagree with the new rule, saying it interferes with a judge's ability to manage a courtroom. Jim Matthews, Michigan News Network.
Whose license or registration expires between April and this weekend will have 120 additional days to renew it without being assessed late fees under new laws. The bills were signed Thursday by Governor Whitmer, who says they give motorists flexibility during the pandemic. A 13-month grace period ended March 31st, leading to a transactions backlog. The laws will help residents whose license, registration, or state ID card lapses from April 1st through this Saturday. They also prohibit late renewal fees unless the Secretary of State resumes letting people conduct same-day service at a branch without an appointment. News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly sunny skies here for today with a high into the mid-70s. Winds out of the north at 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Then for tonight, mostly clear skies, a low near 54. By Saturday, sunshine, high of 79 degrees. And Sunday, a slight chance for some rain, high of 74. Monday, mostly sunny, high around 77 degrees. Then by Tuesday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, a high around 80. Wednesday, sunny, high around 81 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 68.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And good morning to you. Welcome back to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. Today we focus on the folks at Westside Decorating Center. stayed at Weineke in Saginaw. And we say good morning to its owner, Mike Stoddard. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
And Sonia with you this morning, too?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Sonia. Sonia is one of the decorators who will come out to your house and provide free decorating advice. Let's talk, first of all, I don't know that I ever did this. Give us, Mike, an overview of West Side decorating.
Sure. So West Side Decorating started in 1966, started by my grandpa, Elmer Fondrick. He was a paint contractor in Saginaw. So he was kind of using West Side as his storehouse and a supply place for his painters. And then he kind of transformed the business and started carrying flooring and window treatments, wallpaper. His son, Gary, took it over in the 80s and ran it a couple of years ago. So the third owner, and happy to be a family business serving Saginaw.
And product lines, have they changed much over the years?
We've always had, we're very big into paint, flooring, window treatments, wallpaper. Those have been our four big ones, and we've stayed pretty steady over the years with those.
And when it comes to paint, that's changed dramatically, hasn't it?
It has. There's been a lot of technological advances with paint, epoxies, different coatings. We always like to talk about our ceramic paints because they were invented in the late 90s, and they are still one of the most durable and scrubbable, washable finishes you can get for inside or outside of your house.
All right, so let's talk about what's new.
Sure.
It's always something.
Yeah, I was going to say we've got a brand new product in the store on display. If you want to paint your countertops, we've always had a granite look marble look, and I know you saw it the other day when you were in, Art. It looks really cool. It's a black marble kit. We also have a white marble kit. Very easy to do. It's a project you can complete in just 1 or 2 days to go right over your laminate or Formica countertops.
How much effort is it to put it on? Can anybody do it?
Oh yeah, I did my house a couple months ago, and the process is very simple. There's if you do the black marble kit like I do, there's a black primer that goes down first. Once that dries, there's actually a spray marble finish that's really cool. You just spritz it in the air over your counter. The paint will fall into a marble-like pattern on the countertop. Once that's dry, that's just it goes over, and that's a product that you could finish in 1 day in your house.
And is this also Gianni, or is it a different company?
It is, yep. Gianni, same company that made the granite kits, makes these marble kits, and then the white marble kit is a little bit different. There's you can actually put your own veins in, so that's a little bit more artistic, but also a very easy to do product.
All right, so Sonia, what's new at your end of the building with flooring and window treatments and the like?
We've got a little bit of everything. We've got a lot of new floors that have come in that are budget friendly, and they're in the new WPC collection. So that means there's no new underlayment that needs to be put down due to surfaces. And we've got new wallpaper. We have noticed a big surge in wallpaper over the last year, so we really increased our collections, and there's some nice new designs for just about anybody. It's just really cool.
Seems to me wallpaper's the stepchild. It comes, it goes into into fashion, and it was always to me overwhelming because you walk in a store like yours and there'd be hundreds of wallpaper books and you don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. I think we have the biggest collection in the area, and we've actually noticed an increase in builders using wallpaper again in new homes. So we really try to direct you where to find wallpaper. So if you're looking for something specific, a floral or a geometric or a grass cloth even, we can books for you, so it's not so overwhelming.
All right, hang on. We got to take a break. We're talking to Mike and Sonia from West Side Decorating Center, stayed at Weineke in Saginaw, and we will be back with more. We'll also hear from Terry Henney at the Munger Potato Festival, all ahead.
Did it go okay when your insurance agent sat down with you to review the coverage checklist for your farm so you wouldn't have to worry about uncovered areas? You have reviewed your coverages lately, right? If not, maybe your agency should be the Amel Rummel Agency. At the Emil Rummel Agency, it's our job to understand the various risks you face every day on your farm, and then provide you with the right insurance policy that is based on your needs. If your current insurance agent is not offering this kind of service, you talked with the Emil Rummel Agency, because we listen and then we respond to what we hear. The Emil Rummel Agency is located in Frankenmuth, Vassar, Caro, and in Saginaw. Call us today at 800-572-0939. That's 800-572-0939. Or visit us on the web at rummelinsurance.com.
All roads lead to the 66th annual Munger Potato Festival, going on now through Sunday. Enjoy carnival rides, food tent, games, famous potato bratwurst, and of course, plenty of free potatoes and great music. Today in the entertainment tent, it's Rebel Line, followed by the Sinclairs, plus the front-wheel drive Figure 8 and the rear. Saturday is Kids Day with the 5K Spud Run sponsored by the Frankenmuth Credit Union, the Power Wheel Figure 8, Rear Wheel Drive Figure 8, Front Wheel Drive Team Derby, and the Rear Wheel Drive Turn Back the Time Class Figure 8. And music in the entertainment tent featuring Vina Schnitzel, Grind, and Steve Armstrong and the 25-cent beer band. New this year, a cornhole tournament Saturday at 2. On Sunday, it's the traditional chicken barbecue. The parade begins at 1, and in the afternoon in the entertainment tent, it's Bay City Polka Panic, followed by the Todd Michael Band. Parking is free, and even free admittance to the grounds. It's the granddaddy of them all, the Munger Potato Festival, sponsored by the Munger Volunteer Firemen. Details at mungerpotatofest.com.
Can you name the 3 habits of healthy hygiene? We shower, we brush our teeth. What third habit? Think about it. The pandemics reminded us that the nose is your body's filter against a constant invasion of airborne germs. Your nose traps allergens, bacteria, and viruses, but like any filter, the more it's clogged up, the less it works. Now it's easy to clean your nose with Navage. My name's Martin Hoke, and I did not invent nasal irrigation. It's been around thousands of years, but I did invent Navage to make nasal irrigation an easy habit for everyone. Navage uses powered suction to flush out germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you very sick. People love Navage. It has 4.7 stars with over 70,000 online reviews, and over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and select Walmarts. Make cleaning your nose your third habit. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on Focus, talking to Mike and Sonia from Westside Decorating Center in Saginaw. So, Mike, let's talk about tools for a minute, because the old saying, tools make the job, don't they? Mike?
Yep. So,
there you are.
Yep, I'm here. We always tell people, if you're going to get a good can of paint, obviously want to get a great brush and roller cover, because they make the difference. They make the job look professional, and they make cleanup easier and application easier as well.
Let me ask about brushes for a minute, because if I go in and I'm going to pick numbers off my head, I have no idea. If I look at a $3 paintbrush and I look at a $6 paintbrush and I look at a $10 paintbrush, A, am I going to see the difference? And B, how is it different when I apply the paint?
Yeah, so you'll see the difference. You'll feel the difference. A lot of our brushes have got a, like we call it, a brush vest on them that up in the store and show you the bristles. Less expensive brushes have less bristles. More expensive brushes obviously have more bristles. The bristles are tapered a little bit differently. There's multiple filaments sometimes in a brush that just holds paint, and we call it pick up and release. It picks up paint better, it releases paint better. Then there's also like soft bristles and firm bristles. So, like I said, you can touch and feel the difference, and definitely feel it during application.
So if I were to buy a cheap brush and an expensive brush, and I took my wall or my whatever I'm painting and divided it in half, when I was done painting both halves with the two different brushes, would I say to myself, I'm glad I paid the extra money for this better brush?
Definitely. Less expensive brushes having coarser bristles will oftentimes leave brush marks, where the more expensive brush, like you said, it's going to eliminate those brush marks, make everything look better.
All right, Sonia. So let me go to you, and we're gonna talk about buying inexpensive to expensive. If I come in and I buy, and again, I'm going to pick numbers out of the air. These aren't real numbers. If I buy carpet at $2 a square foot and I buy carpet at $7 a square foot or more, am I going to see a difference?
You will do that what you pay for, but there's also sort of the feel of the carpet. You can tell a lower priced carpet is going to have, it's not going to be as dense and as luxurious feeling versus the $7 a square foot carpet that's going to be really thick and you can dig your toes into it and it's silky. So you're getting the difference in feel and then in quality. So there's nothing wrong with a $2 square foot. We do have quite a few prices, but a $2 a square foot might be more for bedrooms or rooms that aren't going to get used as often, whereas you want something that's going to be a little tougher, a little bit more durable, that's going to be in hallways or staircases or family rooms, heavy traffic use.
And how important is the pad I put under it?
Very important. We always use a good pad. Our standard pad is an 8-pound. It has a little firmness to it, but it's going to add to the life of your carpet. If we go with something a little, it's going to start to deteriorate over time, and that's not saying 10 years or 15 years, but it can deteriorate more like with heavy use or putting heavy furniture on it. So it's not going to last as long. So you can use a lesser priced carpet with a good pad, and you're going to have years of use out of it.
All right. So, Mike, let's talk about location and hours.
Sure. We're located at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township on State Street near Weineke. Hours during the week, 7:30 to 5:30, and then Saturday, 9 until 3.
You're open at 7:30 in the morning. You do that for contractors, but the public can come in, can't they?
Yeah, sure can. Front door's open.
Front door's open, and you're well stocked.
Exactly. Yeah, we have plenty of paint in stock.
And let me just ask one last question here. How about color matching? If I bring you a sample, can you match it?
We can. We just system too. Even like a little paint sliver used to be too small for our machine to read, and now we have brand new technology. We can read like a small sliver of paint. If you want to bring it in, then we can match it up for you.
Fantastic. Listen, guys, thanks for being with us again. We'll talk to you down the road. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Sonia. Bye-bye now. All right. Let's, before we take another break, let's head out again to the Munger Potato Festival and see what Terry Henney's up to.
Broadcasting this morning from the entertainment tent in downtown Munger. It's the 66th annual Munger Potato Festival. We can make jokes all day long about downtown Munger, but it does come alive. Year off, it is alive. Last night was a terrific night here at the festival grounds. Going on this afternoon, the carnival rides kick off at about 2 o'clock. Tonight, once again, in the arena, there'll be racing with figure eights and demo derbies going on, and the entertainment tent will be alive at 7 o'clock, beginning at 7 o'clock. Rebel Line, and then at 9:30, the Sinclairs will be performing this evening. Tomorrow, Kids' Day activities beginning at 9:30. This is always a big event for all the kids in the area. Bring them on out. You're going to have a great time with magicians, bicycle drawing, all sorts of fun things following the magic show. It's all a part of the 66th annual Munger Potato Festival, brought to you in part by the Frankenmuth Credit Union, our sponsors for our broadcast today. And incidentally, they're also going to be featuring a 5K spud run. That's tomorrow morning beginning at 9. More details during the farm program coming up next.
All right, Terry, we'll look for it. And we'll be back to close out and find out what's happening in the marketplace after these notes.
Perfect. Hey, golfers, this is Dan Pohl, and I know your golf games aren't always perfect, and that's okay. But if you want the perfect golf experience, then come see us here at the Polecat. Don't wait. Go to polecat.net or give the Pro Shop a call. Remember, if your golf games can't be perfect, your experience can.
Perfect.
O'Reilly. Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a premium full synthetic motor oil at an affordable price. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic and a Wix filter for just $31.99. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. Minimize friction, heat, and wear on your engine with Syntec full synthetic motor oil exclusively at
O'Reilly.
Parts.
So, what do you think?
You nailed the custom cabinets.
And the countertop is perfect.
It makes the space.
I'm in love with my kitchen again.
Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design makes your dream spaces a reality with custom cabinetry and a variety of countertop options like Corian, granite, and quartz, offering both in-store and in-home personalized consultation. We're with you from inspiration to installation. Your dreams. PremierKitchenandBathGallery.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of My Pillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special.
All right, that'll do it for Focus. We'll be back tomorrow with, no, we won't. We'll be back Monday with another Focus. Tomorrow we'll be at the Munger Potato Festival from 8 to 11, and Ernie Krieger will join me at 9 o'clock. Time to head over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day. We say good morning to Steve Anderson.
Well, good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing all right. How are the markets doing at the end of the week?
Well, we're getting a little bit of a sell-off here to end the weekend. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average down by 93 points, leaving it at 34,991 on volume of 274 million shares. The NASDAQ is off 100, putting it at 14,668, and volume there is 271 million shares.
And your ticker tip for the day?
People will often hear the analysts or the prognosticators or the folks on TV talk about a pullback as being a healthy pullback. Now, what does a healthy pullback mean? Because there's not anybody that really enjoys watching their account balances go down ever. But there are times that a downturn is actually necessary because prices can start getting out of hand, too much speculation into the market. You do always have to take a look on any downturn, as has the overall big picture economic story changed. If the answer is no, then it might well be a healthy pullback. Are there new and material risks to the market that hadn't been properly accounted for? And has the earnings outlook for the firm or markets changed significantly? You have to look at those things, and if the answer to those is, are the right answers, it's probably a healthy pullback. Now, say that with any certitude about any individual investor, they have to look at their own particular situation, their own goals, their own risk tolerances. If you've got money invested in the market that you plan on using to, say, buy a cottage before the summer is over, well, then you might not want to sit around and think about that healthy downturn, but maybe you want to make a change. Yeah. So what the market does, there's a explanations about it, people talking about it, but it's all different for everybody.
How do they get some help from you?
Well, they can call us right here at Baird and Company, where the telephone number is 790-5724, or you can find us on the web at rwbaird, that's BAIRD.com.
All right.
Look for the Saginaw branch.
Have a great weekend, Steve. Talk to you Monday.
I will. You do the same. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticker tip for the day. We thank you for joining us. The Farm Show with Terry Henney will be along next.
Nutrient